Democrats are warning they're based to temper their expectations for November, even as Harris maintains a national polling lead. These Democrats are afraid that the polls could be wildly off base and Donald Trump could outperform the polls like he did in 2016, like he did in 2020, substantially. It wasn't just a slight outperformance, it was a big outperformance. Talk about it.
Yeah, you know.
If I talk about it, it's going to be attacking the damn Democrats again.
You got to start with reminding people in 2016, Hillary Clinton was the favorite to win. The polls had her up by 5 points, I think. And then she ended up winning the popular vote by about 3.5%.
3 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Votes, yeah.
And so the polls were technically right, just not accurate, if that makes sense to people. Then in 2020, believe it or not, the polls were even worse off. They said Biden had, a 7-point advantage, and then he won by, I think...
5.2 or
something. It was
less than that, 2.5 maybe so.
2.1. 2.1, yeah. So
yeah.
It really was bad. It was really awful. And what happened is, as we have talked about multiple times here, we're getting oversampling. We're getting oversampling from California, from New York, from very populous states, and I'm not trying to pick two blue states.
But they've proven that's their going.
Right.
Those are the going 2 points. That's what they did with Hillary.
Yeah.
Okay? And they missed all the flyover states. And the flyover states came out in droves.
And she personally campaigning missed all the flyover states too.
Yes.
And she was ahead, 7 points in Wisconsin.
Oh, one time it was 9 points, Farron.
And then lost by 7.
Yeah.
Because the polls were so off in Wisconsin. And sure, the polls right now say, Harris has got a pretty good lead in Wisconsin, but none of it could be real. And that's what this could be as real as Bitcoin.
Isn't the swing state problem? The swing state problem is the difference is a hair. It's 0.3, 0.4. And there's a mechanism that the pollsters use. Of course, I have zero trust in the polls. I mean, my thing is go vote.
Yeah.
If you want to be entertained, if you want to make yourself angry, if you want to make yourself happy, read the polls that make you happy. If you just want to be depressed, read the polls that make you sad. I don't give a damn. But at the end of the day, go vote. I mean, that's it, right? That's where it really takes place. But when you look at these pollsters, they say when you see this thin margin in swing states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, when you see this close 0.3, 0.4. That is exactly how Hillary lost, okay? They were calling in the Hillary case, they were in the Hillary situation, they kept saying, well, when we look at the numbers, she has a 57% chance of winning, 55% chance.
Yeah.
Same thing here. You call Harris, if you look at these, she has a 54% chance of winning. It's a flipping of the coin.
Yeah.
Flip a coin, and you're going to see what they're saying about these polls. And to me, I just, like I say, I love to watch. I love to listen to people's reactions. In a weird kind of way, I like to see people just go off crazy. I can't believe the poll says this. They go insane. I don't know. Maybe some people are entertained by that. I don't know. But to me, it is the biggest problem they're having now is what they call built-in ideological favoritism. That both sides.
Yeah.
And so that's something I look at. You just ignore the polls, right?
Well, and I think a lot of what we saw in 2016 and 2020 as well has to do with, kind of what they called the embarrassed voters, the people who were going to vote for Trump but didn't want to admit it when talking to the pollster. That is actually
I know. I saw.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being so embarrassed by saying,
and it's somebody you're talking to on the phone. You're never going to meet them in person. They don't know you.
It's like they're not in the room with you. And they go, hey, Joe said he's going to. But that was a real thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a real thing now?
I think probably more so today. So, I always tell people when I do talk about the polls, I say, look, I'm not here to give anybody false hope. So take it with a grain of salt, what I'm about to tell you.
Exactly.
So, and hopefully it sticks with people. I do talk about polls because we're in an election cycle. Polls are there.
Yeah.
But it's the issue polls when you have people that say, yes, this is an important issue to me, this is not.
If people listen to you when you talk about polls, you always say, at the end of the day, go out and vote.
Yeah.
The polls don't mean anything. I mean, full disclosure, sometimes we do these polling stories just to piss people off that are watching this show. I mean, truthfully, I mean, I'd love to say, but it does. It makes them crazy. And you know, the truth of the matter is, go vote.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the polls. Turn off the polls. Turn off MSNBC and CNN and Fox News or whatever. Go vote.
Yeah, because none of this is real until everything is real.
That's right. Farron Cousins, the best, I swear you are absolutely the best progressive commentator in the business, and I'm so glad you're on this show with me all the time. Thanks a lot. That's all the time we have, but all these segments are going to be posted right here on this channel in the coming week. Make sure you subscribe. I'm Mike Papantonio, and this has been America's Lawyer, where we tell you stories every week the corporate media won't tell you because their advertisers won't let them. They actually prevent them from telling these stories because they'll drive their advertising dollars. Or they become too Republican or too Democrat, and a news organization can't tell you the truth. They want to tell you what's going to make you happy to hear. We don't have that problem. A lot of times we tell you stuff that's not going to make you happy, but that's what we're about. We'll see you next time.